Hello everyone, welcome to IAS with Arihant. Student, as you know, every day at 9 p.m. we are discussing about the Indian polity, and this is 37th lecture of this series of students. And the series is called as Prelims Possible, and this is based on a book that is specially published by Arihant. So this is a book, okay. And students, we are discussing about this book. Along with that, we are discussing about the uniqueness and means a very different data that is going to help you in your examination. Okay, so we are going to start the session, but before that, as I told you, this session is based on this book, so you must go with it because it has lots of feature. Like, this book is divided into chapters, and that chapter is divided into topic, and there is a topic based MCQs, okay, and students, there is a topic based mind map that is going to help you in a term of revision. And this contain 100% error-free explanation, knowledge plus for the typical question, and there's a 3500 plus PYQ bullet in the last of this book. So that will keep you, means that section you can use to revise the data, students. Okay, so we are going to start this session, but those who are very new to this channel, please subscribe the channel, press the bell icon, as well as share this video with your friends also, as well as family, those who are preparing for and those who want to prepare for the UPSC or any state PSC examination. So in the today's lecture, we are going to start the chapter 14, and this chapter 14 is about the union legislature. Okay, so we already discussed one thing. We discussed about the union executive. Union executive. So what is the function of union executive, students? So basically, these are the body that is implementing law. So it contains article 52 to 78, and students, under this section, president, vice president, council of minister including prime minister, as well as attorney general of India coming. But if we talk about, when we talk about the union legislature, so legislatures are basically law making body. So those who preparing law, those who creating law, and that law is implemented by executive, students. So union executive is basically the parliament. Okay, so parliament is an union executive that is going to create law for the country, and it is going to be implemented by the different method. So lots of power included, means it is given for the parliament as well as the member of parliament. So union executive is talk about the parliament, and if we talk about from where to where this contain, so it will start from article 79, from the definition of the parliament, up to the article 122. Okay, so it contain provision related to the parliament as well as about the power and function of the parliament, students. Okay, so we are going to start this topic, union legislature. As the same form, students, we have state legislature also, that is making law for the state. But one very important thing, from where they are going to create law. So we already discussed about a schedule number 7, and schedule number 7 is mentioning about the 3 lists, list 1, list 2 and list 3 of Indian Constitution, students. One is union list, where only the center can make law. Another is called as state list, where only state can make law. And the third one is the basically you can say concurrent list, where both center and the state will create law. And there is a residuary power, students, by article 248, and these power is given to basically parliament. So parliament has power to create any law if something is not in the state list, union list or concurrent list. I hope you all getting it. So this is important, and we are going to see this mind map, okay, and then we will go and discuss the MCQs, students. So this chapter is divided into multiple topics for your basic understanding, as well as to make you updated and to make your concept easier. Okay, everyone, so we already discussed there is a parliament, and who is parliament, what the function of parliament. Parliament is a law making body, and parliament is defined under article 79 of the Indian Constitution. And students, parliament defined one thing, basically parliament consists of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So do you think only Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha can create any law? So you will say no, sir. Till the time president is not going to give assent, this bill is not going to be worked as act. So basically parliament is consist of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha as well as the President of India. So these three combinedly called as parliament. Okay, and what is the function of these three body? To make law. Okay, combinedly. So that's why it is called as they are the part of the parliament, students. I hope you all getting it. Any doubt? Any doubt, students? No? Now, so we will start with the introduction. So center of all democratic political process, legislative organ of the union government. Legislative organ means basically law making body or law making organ of the union government. Then we have constitutional provision also. So article 79 to 122 of part 5 of Indian Constitution is mentioning about the parliament. So there are power, there is a function. Okay, these all things will be included in between these two articles. Then we have article 79, that is about the structure of parliament. So structure of parliament is consist of, we already discussed, president, okay, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. These three combinedly consider as the parliament, students. Okay, then we have article 80, composition of council of state. So article 80 is about the Rajya Sabha, okay, and article 81 is for the Lok Sabha, and article 82 setting up a delimitation. Okay, so this is another important thing that is going to basically create the constituencies. Okay, now we already discussed about the structure. So it consists of president, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and based on the British structure in the same format. If we talk about composition, so president is the part of the parliament, whether he is not going to take part in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha process, but yes, he is the part of the parliament. Then Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, what are the power and function of the parliament, students? So if you see, they have a cumulative power for the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both, and they have special power in the term of Rajya Sabha as well as the term of Lok Sabha. As we already discussed, the no confidence motion can only bring in Lok Sabha. Okay, the removal process of vice president can only be start from Rajya Sabha. Okay, let's suppose some update or some change required to make in state list of the schedule 7. In that case, students, this resolution can bring by Rajya Sabha only. So these are some specific power for the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and there are some common power for both of them. So see here some power and function included. So make law on subject of union list. Okay, make law on subject of concurrent list. We already know about the concurrent list. Okay, make law on residuary power. So we already discussed, if something is not mentioned under three lists, list 1, list 2 and list 3, then this can only be tackled by the parliament. So this is a residuary power. Protect the public money. Okay, introduction of budget will be in Lok Sabha, okay, and in the Rajya Sabha also, but it is start in Lok Sabha. Okay, election of president and vice president. Okay, and see, amendment in major part of the constitution by special majority, and students, amendment can start from Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, from any place. Okay, control over the executive by various resolution. Let's suppose, students, election commission is here, Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, and if let's suppose they are not following their duties, in that case the removal process of these bodies or these offices can only start from the parliament. So this is also very important to understand. I hope you all getting it. So just take this data for your examination point of view. Now we are moving towards the agenda of the class, the MCQs, and we already discussed, students, these all questions based on this book that is specially published by Arihant. And see, you must go with this book because it is going to help you in understanding the concept, as well as it is my personal view, it is going to help you in your answer writing also. Okay, so we will start with the first question. The parliament consists of, this question was asked by multiple time in the UPPSC examination as well as in the Maharashtra PSC examination. So just stop the right answer and let me fix my position at the right place, so you guys will not feel any difficulties. Okay, now, so we are going to see this question. So Indian Parliament is consist of, so we already discussed about article number 79. Article 79 is mentioned about the Parliament is consist of, so it is basically Lok Sabha, it is basically Rajya Sabha, and it is President of India. We all know this. Now you need to respond according to the options. Okay, so option A says that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Option B says that Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and Prime Minister. Option C says that Speaker and Lok Sabha. Option D says that President and both House of the Parliament. So what is right answer for the same, students? Will say, sir, we already discussed under Article 79 of the Indian Constitution, Parliament is consist of the President and Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha. I hope you all able to understand. Now we are moving towards the explanation part. Okay, so here the Indian Parliament is consist of both House of the Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, including President of India. And we already know, students, and we'll discuss about the same. If we talk about the legislature, okay, so legislature means that union legislature is divided into two parts. There are two houses. One is Lok Sabha and another is Rajya Sabha. Student, Lok Sabha is called as House of People. Why it is called House of People? Because in Lok Sabha the members are elected directly. So there is a direct election. Okay. And for Rajya Sabha, there is these members are elected by elected member of Legislative Assembly of States, so it is indirect election. Okay, and Lok Sabha is a house that is means created after election, general election, like in 2024 election for the Lok Sabha is going to be conducted. But you never see ki there is an open election for the Rajya Sabha. It is depend on the vacancy it is depend on the vacancy of seats in Rajya Sabha from a respective state. Okay, so Lok Sabha can be dissolved, but Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, students, because here there is a concept, the member 6 for 6 years and students member tenure. Okay, Legislative Council member tenure is for 5 years. And if you see, students, Rajya Sabha is a continuous house because the complete member is not going to retire basically together. They will complete 6 years, and 1/3 member who is completing 6 years, they will retire after every 2 years. So few people will remain in office and few people will retire. So in that case, this is a continuous house. When someone going to complete 6 years, he will retire and a new person is going to be chosen. So that's why it is a continuous house. And but in Lok Sabha, what you find, they come together and they will go together. So this is a house that can be dissolved. In Lok Sabha, there is a maximum seat can be 550. In Rajya Sabha, maximum seat can be 250. Out of 250, 230 is going to be, 238 is going to be elected. But as I already told you, election is indirect. They are chosen by member of Legislative Assembly of a state, means there is electoral college. And 12 member is basically nominated by President. They are nominated by President of India. Okay, and in the same format, students, out of 550, they all are elected. So there is a division between the state also, ki how many seats will state take care and how many seats there will be for union territories. Okay, but initially what you find, students, 2 Anglo-Indian was nominated in the Lok Sabha, but by 104th Constitutional Amendment Act, this provision was removed. So no Anglo member is going to be appointed in the Lok Sabha now by the President. Okay, everyone. So just see the explanation part as we already discussed. The Rajya Sabha is called as upper house. It is not written in Constitution, or you can say the second chamber of house. Lok Sabha is called as the lower house, and it is the first chamber of house. Though President is not member of either house of the Parliament, does not sit in the Parliament, but is an integral part of the Parliament, because bill passed by both house of the Parliament cannot be become law without the assent of President of India, students. Now, see the question number 2. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and other is labeled as reason. And this was in Andhra Pradesh PSC last year 2023. So assertion says that the Parliament of India consists of President and two houses. The Parliament of India consists of President and two houses. Reason says that the President is a part of legislature even though he does not sit in the Parliament except for the purpose of delivering opening address. So choose the correct answer from the code given below. Option A says that, means statement A says that both A, assertion and reason are true, and R means reason is the correct explanation of A. Okay, everyone. Then B says that, okay, B says that basically both means assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, C says that A is true but reason is false, and D says that assertion is true and assertion is false and reason is true. So now just choose the right answer. So we already know the Parliament of India consists of President and both houses. Along with that, students, President is the part of legislature. Without participation of President of India, a bill cannot be act. So both are correct, we all know, and reason is the correct explanation for the assertion, students. So option A is going to be the more appropriate and right answer for the same. So both assertion and reason are true. Reason is correct explanation of assertion. So Parliament of India consists of the President and both house of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. President is the part of the legislature because he or she summon both houses in first session of each year and addresses nearly elected Lok Sabha students. So both houses make, formulate, discuss, draft bill, but can only become act after the assent of the President of India. So he is automatically integral part of the Parliament, students. Now see once again this question connected with the same type. Okay, it was in Bihar PSC recently 2018. So President of India is not a part of Parliament, is part of the Parliament. The part of Parliament and sits in the Parliament can vote in Parliament. Okay, so you have to choose the correct answer. Not part of Parliament, we all know the he is a part of Parliament. Okay, the part of Parliament and sit in the Parliament, he can't sit. He can vote? No. So only B is right answer for the same. President is the part of Parliament because without President involvement, no bill is going to be converted as act. So we already discussed about Article 79 of Indian Constitution. So Union Parliament consists of President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Okay. Now see, this question was in UPPSC 2013. Which of the following is not an integral part of Parliament? Which of the following is not an integral part of Parliament? President, Vice President, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Student, this question says that not. Okay, so President is the part of, Lok Sabha is the part of, Rajya Sabha is the part of. Vice President is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Now it is going to create confusion among the students if your concepts are not clear. So as we all know ki Vice President is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, but he chosen as Vice President, not the part of Rajya Sabha. He is basically not the member of Rajya Sabha. He can't vote. He can only function as the presiding officer, speaker. Okay, so option B is right answer for the same. Vice President is not part of the Parliament, and he is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, students. Now see the question number 5. Okay, see, if you go with the explanation, we already discussed about it. Vice President is not an integral part of the Parliament because he is not a member of either house of Parliament. Like a Speaker of Lok Sabha, and the assent of Vice President is not required passing the bill in the Parliament. So the Vice President is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, but he is not member of Rajya Sabha. Hence, he is the not part of the parliament. Now see the question number 5. It was in Jharkhand PSC, Bihar PSC. A seat of the member of parliament can be declared vacant if he absent himself from the house for a continuous period of. Now this question is going to be more tricky. Okay, see students, there is Article 102 in our Indian Constitution that is mentioning about the 101 about the disqualification of the member of parliament. So what you see students, under the same provision, Article 101 clause A subclause 4, it is mentioning that if any member of parliament without informing, if he is continuously not available for 2 months, okay, or 60 days, his post is going to be vacant. So this is very important. Option B is going to be right for the same. So Article 101 clause 4 of the Indian Constitution provide that House of Parliament can be declared the seat of a member vacate if he is absent from its meeting for a period of 2 months or 60 days without its permission. So in computing the period of 2 months, no account shall be taken of any period during which House is discontinued or adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. So that period will be not calculated. Getting everyone? Now see the question number 6. Minimum how many times the parliament has to meet in a year? So student, this provision is also mentioned there. It is very important, within 180 days or gap of meeting should not more than 180 days. It is very compulsory. If let's suppose in 1 year, if there means there is a written provision, they must not vacate the post for, means they must not create a gap for 180 days. It means that they need to meet at least twice. Okay, so option B is going to be right for the same students. I hope you all getting it. Bihar PSC and UPPSC. This question was asked in both examination. So as we already discussed, the parliament must meet at least twice a year, but we all know that they meet for the 3 times. Okay, one is budget session, and then there is a monsoon session, and then there is a winter session. So for the meet for the 3 times, so this gap is not possible. Okay, so Constitution empower President to summon each house at the interval of there should not be more than for 6-month gap, but it can be also done. Let's suppose any condition arises like Corona was there, so in that case they will not create any gathering. Okay, so there is a conditions. Okay, but in normal condition they should create means they should meet within 180 days. Okay, the 7th question, what is the maximum possible time gap between the 2 sessions of the parliament? Maximum possible gap between the 2 sessions of the parliament. So maximum gap can be 180 days. Otherwise, see, it is going to be dissolved. So it is 6 months maximum. Assam PSC. So maximum gap should cannot be more than 6 months. Okay. So we already discussed, but they are meeting for 3 sessions. Okay. One is budget session, monsoon session, and then winter session. Okay, everyone. Now, the union territory get representation in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, both House of Parliament, means in the Lok Sabha also, in the Rajya Sabha also. So none of the above. It is UPPSC mains question. So union territory get representation in union territory. So just choose the right answer. Student, we already discussed there is a 2 type of seats in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So in Lok Sabha maximum seat can be 550, and in Rajya Sabha maximum seat can be 250. Out of 550 there is a state seats, there are some union territory seats, In the Rajya Sabha, there are few members are elected and few members are nominated. So elected member can be maximum 238 and nominated can be 12. For the state Lok Sabha, there is a 530 seats, and for the union territory it can be 20 seats. Okay. For the Rajya Sabha students, out of 238 elected seat, there will be for state and there will be for the union territories. 220 seats for the state and 18 seats for the union territory. Okay, so nomination is done by president. Okay, and there is also a condition, they must belong to art, science, okay, these type of field. I hope you getting it. So in Lok Sabha also there is a union territory seat, in Rajya Sabha also there is a union territory seats. So union territory get representation in both houses of the parliament, whether it is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Getting it? Easy everyone. So union territory get representation in both houses of parliament. Lok Sabha has 20 members from union territories and only 2 union territory, Delhi and Pondicherry, have representation in Rajya Sabha presently. Jammu Kashmir will also get. Okay, Ladakh. Okay, so union territory is a type of administrative division in India which have their own elected government and is directly ruled by the central government students. Now, this question was in UPSC or UPSC IAS 2012. So if it is a UPSC question, then you have to read it very clearly and carefully. So consider the following statement. Union territory are not represented in Rajya Sabha. So we already discussed in the last question, union territory also getting the seats in the Rajya Sabha. So this statement is going to be incorrect. Okay, it is within the purview of the election commissioner to adjudicate an election dispute. So students, it says that the election commission will take care if any dispute arises in the election. Now students, I am giving a note here. We already discussed if a vice president or president election dispute arises. In that case, this matter is taken care by the Supreme Court of India. Another fact I like to give you here. Okay, there is, okay, let's suppose, okay, let's suppose a MLA election dispute is arises. So he is participating from a state. So from where he is participating, the same high court, means same state high court is going to take care decision the same matter. Let's suppose a member of parliament and from, let's suppose it is Prime Minister Modi ji. Initially he was participated from Gujarat also, as well as from the Varanasi also. So in that case, let's suppose dispute arises in Varanasi case or Varanasi election. So this can be treated in the UP High Court. So this is also taken care by the State High Court, not by the Election Commission. Getting it? So statement 2 is also incorrect. Now, according to Constitution of India, the Parliament consists of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha only. So we all know, according to Article 79 of Indian Constitution, Parliament consists of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and basically this is President. So these all three statements are incorrect. So automatically we will go with the option number D. Okay, so we already discussed the students. So we all know that basically union territory also getting representation in Lok Sabha as well as in Rajya Sabha, and basically the adjudication of election dispute is looked after by High Court in the respective state. According to the Constitution of India, Parliament is consist of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and President of India. So see, the questions are easy, but their analysis is important. Their means your concept should be clear. So I hope you understand how to proceed with these type of question. Now see, this question was in West Bengal PSC 2019, and see, the power to increase the number of judges in Supreme Court of India is vested in? The power to increase the number of judges in Supreme Court. Initially, students, in 1950, the number of judges was only 8. Okay, 7 plus 1. After that, it continuously increased, and now we have 34 judges. Now, so in that case, students, out of 34, one is Chief Justice of India and 33 other judges. So, who has power to increase this number of judges, students? Initially, it was 31. Before that, it was 28. So, there is a different time when the seats was increased. So, who has power to increase the number of judges of Supreme Court? It is the President of India, Parliament, Chief Justice of India, or Law Commission. So, basically, this increase in number of the judges of Supreme Court can only done by the Parliament by passing the resolution, and it is included under 124 clause 1 of the article of Indian Constitution, students. So, as per September 2023, the number of judges of Supreme Court is 34 judges, one Chief Justice and other 33 judges, students. Okay, now this question is important, but if you see, student, this question was in 2011. Now we are in 2014, and students, election for the Lok Sabha is going to be conducted, okay, after 25 days. So see, here is a question that is connected with the basically campaigning of Lok Sabha member candidate, or for the legislative assembly member candidate. So they cannot spend a lot money. There is a cap how much money they can spend for creation of level playing ground. Okay, so what is the maximum expenditure limit for the parliamentary election of a constituency? It is 25 lakh, it is 40 lakh, it is 70 lakh, it is 1 crore. So as I told you, students, these data will not work together today. So that's why I added a data. In 2014, if you see, for the Lok Sabha, okay, so the limit was 70 lakh for the bigger state, 54 lakh for the smaller state. Now it is increased for up to the 95 lakh for the bigger state and or bigger constituency, and 75 for the smaller state. But simple, you must remember the maximum limit is 95 lakh. And for the state legislative assembly, students, it is now 40 lakh. Initially it was 28 lakh. So we already discussed about the same. Okay, so you must remember these data for your examination. Now see, this question was in Maharashtra PSC. Which of the following is common to the methods of election of the member of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha? Now, which of the following statement will be common for the method of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? We know that the Lok Sabha has different method of election and Rajya Sabha has different method of election. But you have to see statement what they want to know. So every citizen above 18 years of age is an eligible voter. So they are asking about common for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So we know that Lok Sabha member are elected directly, but Rajya Sabha member are elected indirectly by member of Legislative Assembly of a state. So this statement is going to be incorrect. The winner must get more than half of the vote. Okay, it is okay, but it is not for every condition. In Rajya Sabha, there is a single transferable voting method system. Now, if you read the statement, say, Election Commission of India conduct the election for the President, Vice President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, member of Legislative Assembly of a state, member of Legislative Council. So these elections are conducted by Election Commission. So if you go with the right answer, the more appropriate is going to be Election Commission of India conduct these elections. Now if you see the statement D, every vote has equal value. So this is also not going to be correct. So option C is the more appropriate answer. So C, the common thing to the method of election of the member of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha is that Election Commission of India conduct these elections. The Election Commission of India conduct these elections for both houses of the Parliament, state legislature, as well as for the office of president and vice president. Okay, and this is simple, students, just remember it. Okay, now see, this question was in APSC or ACS, APS or ACS pre 2022. Now, which of the following statement about the member of Indian Parliament is incorrect? See, whenever you read question, just try to understand what it demands. Okay, for qualifying to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, a person must completed the age at least 25 year and 35 year respectively. So if someone want to be the member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, what is the age qualification? So if someone 25-year-old, he can be the member of Lok Sabha. If someone 30-year-old, he can be the member of Rajya Sabha. So automatically one portion is correct, but another portion is incorrect. So this is incorrect. Now, a person belong to scheduled caste or scheduled tribe can contest election from the general constituency too. So students, in the Lok Sabha, there is a reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. 84 seats for scheduled caste and 47 seats for the scheduled tribe. These are the reserved seats. On these seats, only a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe community can participate. So what you see, students, a person belong to scheduled caste or scheduled tribe can contest election from a general constituency too. So yes, it is correct. They can participate from anywhere. Okay, this is correct. So a member of parliament to vote against the direction of her party, he or she can be deemed to be disqualified on the ground of defection. What is defection under Schedule 10 of Indian Constitution, students? If someone not following the party, as well as if let's suppose someone switched the party, in that case he or she can be disqualified. So this is also correct. So let's suppose party given some guideline, some whip or some information, but they are not following the same. It means that they can be disqualified. So if you go with the more appropriate answer, students, what is right answer for the same? So you will say, sir, we have to choose incorrect, and statement 2 and 3 is correct. Only statement 1 is incorrect because they are saying that Rajya Sabha qualification to be the member of Rajya Sabha is 35 years. So it is incorrect because it required only 30 years. So only statement 1 is going to be correct for the, means option 1 is going to be correct for the same because it is incorrect. Okay everyone, we already discussed. Now in the JPSC year 2010, who among the following have right to vote in the election of both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha member? Who among the following have the right to vote in the election of both the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? So elected member of lower house of parliament, read it carefully. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now your concept required. Lok Sabha are directly elected and Rajya Sabha member are indirectly elected by whom? By member of Legislative Assembly of State. And Lok Sabha is directly elected by common citizen who is 18 plus. Okay, so C, just opt the correct one. Elected member of lower house of parliament, elected member of upper house of parliament, elected member of upper house of state legislature, or elected member of lower house of state legislature. So now we know the condition. So in Lok Sabha and in Rajya Sabha, who can vote? MLA. If someone is MLA, elected MLA of a state, so he can choose the Rajya Sabha member. And students, is a common member also, na? Is a common person also. So as a common member, he can choose the Lok Sabha member. So elected member of upper house of the state legislature member can vote, means he will choose the Rajya Sabha member also, he will choose the Lok Sabha member also. Getting it? So this is important. So elected member of lower house of state legislature have the right to cast vote in election of both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. As normal citizen, he will choose the member of Lok Sabha. Okay, and as a part of the electoral college for election of Rajya Sabha member, he will vote for the this Rajya Sabha election students. Okay, getting it? Now see the question number 15. It is in Maharashtra PSC 2017. So if a person is elected to both house of parliament, he must intimate within 10 days in which house is desired to serve, otherwise both seat became vacant. Okay, so let's suppose students, as initially Prime Minister Modi ji, he is the chosen from Vadodara and he is chosen from Varanasi, from Gujarat and from the UP. Okay, so let's suppose he is chosen for the for the 2 seats. So he has a choice to leave which one he want. Okay, now if a person is